Okay. Hi, today we're going to talk about my lesson I did regarding comprehension. So this is Laura. She's a seasoned teacher at my school, and she has already watched all the videos. So first of all, I want to go over my reasoning for picking this lesson. So I thought it would be engaging to students, especially since we're around Thanksgiving and they could, get a better understanding of why we celebrate it. And then some of the strategies I picked, the class I'm doing right now is all based on comprehension strategies. So I tried to implement as much of the learning as I've gotten in my lesson. So some of the comprehension strategies I tried to use were building their schema by connecting to previous knowledge, asking open-ended questions to promote deeper critical thinking, providing explicit teaching. So throughout the lesson, I tried to reference, we were trying to learn what the Wampanoag kids were like long ago. Like I said, I was trying to access their prior knowledge through the vocabulary and then making connections to that throughout the lesson as well. I tried to provide think time, collaborative conversations for dialogue and predicting, inferring what might be hard or easy, and then making connections between the reading and the writing at the end to help them internalize the learning. So those were some of the comprehension strategies I tried to include.
Okay, and I noticed the same things. Here's what I noticed. I noticed that I really liked the way that you front-loaded the vocabulary with them, home site, and what was the other word? Paddled?
Paddled.
Yeah. And then I also noticed that you tried to use their background knowledge. You obviously had showed them a video and talked about Native American children. And yes, it was engaging because they were already familiar with it. It is around Thanksgiving time, so that was very applicable. It was definitely familiar to them because you had already started talking about it before you had read this particular article. I also noticed that as far as comprehension is concerned, you did engage the students in conversation. You would ask them, what do you think a home site is? And a lot of them kind of were using the first part of the word home to use that to determine what the whole word meant. Possibly also using what they had learned from the video that you had watched as well. But all of that together, I think definitely helped. You also use you use the pictures as well in the article, and I don't know if you're going to get to that as well, but that was definitely comprehension.
Oh yeah, I think I will talk about that. So some of the things I thought were effective. I thought the lesson was effective because at the end I showed you their work samples at the end, and they were able to explain if they wanted to be a Wampanoag kid long ago or not. What I did say is I wish I would have done more work connecting the ideas of whether it was easy or hard, and if this would make them want to be or not. Because somewhere in the lesson it clicked to me that, oh wait, a lot of the things they thought were hard, but I didn't want them to think, oh, just because it's hard, I don't want to do it. So at some point I had to stop and say, well, if something's hard, can it still be fun? Would you still want to do it? So I do think it was effective. I would want to push the students more in their thinking next time, and also maybe give more reminders of expectations for partner talk, and even maybe provide a sentence frame like, I think this would be easy because, or I think this would be hard because, just to give them that structure. But I do think it was effective, and next I'll go into the areas for improvement.
Okay, I thought it was very effective, and I really liked the way they were partnering, and being kindergarten, it's hard to coach them always on some of the things about partner, the rules for partner talk, and I think they did great. I like the way you had them separated so they knew who was going first, the boys or the girls. I thought, if we're going back to comprehension, you're questioning, definitely engaging them. What else did I put here? You continue to refer back to the home site question. You also, again, related the things the Wampanoag kids did to current students, kind of like engaging them, having them think about, well, I do kind of like paddling on a boat, and I do like doing hard work. I saw that, and
good.
yes, you could have probably done a little bit more regarding talking about what, even though it's hard, it can still be fun. But I thought that overall, I think that was still fine. I think you wrote about we talked about, let's see, what else should they know? Making teas, is that easy or hard? They need to know that the kind of berries they need to use are safe. I guess you could have done that, thinking more about that kind of thing. Getting water is hard to collect. So you could talk more about that. So if you want to go on with your third part, and then we can.
Okay, so I said some areas for improvement. So as I watched the lesson or reflected, I found lots of things I might improve or just adjust next time. So like I said, the partner talk expectation. I noticed some partnerships, when I watched the video, weren't really talking, and I would say, okay, talk, and then I'd listen to a group. And then I was like, oh, those partners weren't even really talking. So next time I would make sure everybody was engaged before I went and focused on my time on one group. I might model thinking more to show the different perspectives of why it might be easy or hard. So I might model more thinking for them. That way they could display it better. I might ask more questioning of what they already knew about Native Americans, because I didn't really get in that too much about what they already knew. So just to activate more prior knowledge, and then adding that vocabulary and adding the Native American vocabulary. The book we read the day before was Pilgrims and Indians. So they had like Indians in their head, but I of course want them to use the appropriate terminology. So I would do more with Native Americans. When the kids did share, I would add deeper questioning, like, tell me more about that, or why do you think that? Because they would say it, and I did that a few times, but not
why was
the
it
whole
hard?
time.
And they'd say, well, they had to stand a long time.
So why would that be hard? Yeah. I hadn't even put a picture walk of the whole text into my plans, but they were like they wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, next time that's going in there. And we do that in other things, so I don't know why I skipped over that step. Timing is always my thing. Like, I felt like the beginning took a long time, and then I started to feel pressed for time because it was coming towards lunch. So we didn't have as much time for the think time and the partner time as I would have liked. So I need to work on making it more concise in the beginning.
Well, and if it weren't videotaping, it could have been a 2-part lesson. You could have done part of it one day.
True. I don't know.
And then the next day continued with the other part. So.
Yeah, so I just said more time again for meaningful conversation. I might try to encourage different thinking, because a lot of times they were agreeing on their thinking. I said technology. I had to get up and fix the camera. So some of the lesson didn't get videotaped, but you got the general thing. Probably give them more praise. And then, so next time, as I watch this lesson, it was supposed to be all about comprehension, and I felt they understood and da-da. But I thought, well, I should really teach them explicitly, like, a comprehension strategy. Like, I should have taught them that when we ask and answer questions about a text, it helps us to understand. And that's why I kept asking them, is it easy or hard? Why do you think that? So I said next time, by actually teaching them that was a strategy to understand, it will enable them to understand the reason behind collaborative conversations and maybe be more involved with them. Okay. That was it.
And I what I noticed, and first of all, I think it was very wonderful. And
I'm just gonna is gonna run out of time, so I'm gonna do this.